Ooh.
D'Amico, how do you arrive at the decision to go for it on the fourth down on your next to last offensive drive?
Yeah, during that series, we were driving the ball down. Felt really good of how we were driving the ball. Honestly, on the first third down, I felt like we got it. I felt we had really good movement, and I told the guys to do it again. Just being aggressive there. That's my call as the head coach. I'm aggressive, so hey, it didn't work. That happens sometimes, but it's not going to stop me from being aggressive.
What kind of, what kind of factors into your aggressiveness? How much do you kind of lean on, like, I guess the advanced numbers and things of that nature, the percentages and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, there's always numbers, analytics, but it's also a feel. When I see our guys move the pile there on 3rd and 1 like they moved it, I feel like we could have did it again. And so I don't, I'm not going back on that decision there.
Was there any consideration to challenge that spot? It kind of looked like Stover had kind of got over in the past line. Was there any consideration?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but they already confirmed it, and so it was. I couldn't challenge it at that point.
Jalen Reed with the break there. Do you feel like that's season ending, or would you?
Well, Jalen Reed, we'll see. How he continues to progress with the arm injury. Don't think it's season ending, so we'll see how he progresses.
And Jimmy Ward, do you have an update? Is there any?
No update on Jimmy Ward.
D'Amico, when you go back and look at the film from yesterday, all the different things that went on, what's your biggest takeaway other than just you guys finished from yesterday's game?
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is always I'm excited that we got the win, but I think the biggest takeaway for me is we left so much out there, right? And there's still so many things where we can actually so many things we can do better, and. I know it's tough to say that, but it is some small things, some things I know we can do better, things we've worked, things we can clean up technique-wise, fundamental-wise. I just feel like we still left a lot of plays out there, and that's my challenge to our guys. It's always how do you get better? Don't just rest on, we won and be happy with winning. It's all about continue to learn in a win or a loss. What do you learn from it and how you keep pushing the envelope to get even better.
D'Amico, on one side, you all haven't always been able to score touchdowns, but on the other side, you all have moved the ball, kept the ball out of the other team's hands offensively. How do you put that into perspective? Or does that give you optimism? Do you feel like you still need, obviously you feel like you still need more, but how do you put that into perspective?
Offensively, I feel like we've moved the ball, really well. And, of course, we can still get better in the red zone as finishing with touchdowns, but I think we're moving it well. It always starts there. Whatever you want to do offensively, you got to move the football. I thought we did a good job on first down, mixing in some of our play action passes, running the ball. I thought it was a good mix of plays on first down that gave us the advantage there. We were able to get some explosives on first down, passing the football. And so, you keep pressing forward, you keep trying to get as many yards as possible, get in the red zone, and then that's where, you try to strike and score points.
There were a few plays where the Colts, they sent Heat, I think 11 dropbacks for CJ, but you guys, for the majority of the time, were able to pick it up. How have you guys been able to progress so much to this point to where, like, when teams send blitzes at you guys are able to pick it up consistently now?
It's credit to the coaches, starting with Kaylee and the offensive staff. They've done a really good job of really emphasizing and walking through the pressure looks that we'll see. And credit to the players. They executed it the right way. I think Woody has stepped up and did a really nice job. In protection, he's improved the protection, how we're communicating up front. We did a really great job, probably one of our better jobs yesterday of picking up the blitzes that they were bringing and kind of got them out of some of those blitzes. And not just picking it up, I thought CJ did a great job of answering some of those blitzes, getting the ball to Nico on one down the field on a deep end cut. So it's collectively, coaches, players, everybody working well at it. But it starts how we practice, how guys are attentive to the details in their meetings and walking through to fix some of the issues that we had earlier with those blitzes.
You guys had some success with reverse and also with the pitch out to Chubb. Do you feel like with the red zone that you guys are becoming more creative, finding solutions there? And like obviously early in the season it was what it was, but where you're at now?
And for us as a coaching staff, we're willing to do whatever it takes to try to improve. We won't continue to do the same things. I feel like they've done a really good job offensively of, adding some non-traditional type plays in the red zone to put us in position to score.
Coach, you talked about being aggressive earlier. Now you're getting ready to go to play a team that has a head coach that, every series is 4 downs for him. Do you, when you're game planning for that, do you go in with that mindset to match it as well? Or do you go and match it as far as the aggressiveness is concerned, as far as going for it on 4th down and things like that?
It really, for me, just looking at it, 4th downs, I feel like we have an advantage. Do I feel like we have plays that are good enough to win on 4th down? So not just going in just because they're an aggressive team on 4th down, want to put the team in the best possible spot. And going back to our game, I felt like I wanted to continue to drive down and end up scoring so we could have a 2-possession lead there and really put the game out of reach at that point, because our offense did such a great job of driving the ball down. That those positive plays which they showed, that allowed me to be aggressive because I felt like we would continue to move the football.
A lot of Taylor's rushes were for 3 yards or less. How were you guys able to achieve that as a defense? And when you're having that success, what kind of stress did you see that put on the Colts' offensive game plan?
Yeah, Taylor he's a tough back. I thought our guys did a really good job of tackling. That's what allowed us to really stop the run, not allowing those guys to get over 100 yards. It was how we tackled. Everybody tackled really well, from our safeties to linebackers, D linemen. And if one guy missed, like, guys were still there. We swarmed the football, did a really good job of tackling.
Can you just talk about week 12, all the things that you guys have gone through to get to this point, and every week your message has been the same, but how you get the team and the staff just to buy into that?
Yeah, for me, if your message is changing every week and you guys may feel like you have to do something different. I feel like the game of football, you don't have to make something up. You don't have to do something different. All the work you put in training camp, all the rules that you taught, all those things, like it doesn't change. And so I don't make up things for our guys. I don't make it bigger than it is. It's continue to control the controllables, focus on exactly what we can do to put ourselves in position to win games, focus on yourself as an individual, not staying status quo. How are you really pushing yourself to get better? How are you studying a little extra? How are you working a little extra in practice? How are you working a little extra in your recovery process? That's all that I preach to the guys, and I'll continue to preach that because I know that's what truly matters when the game is on the line.
Go ahead.
What was the goal at the end of the first half? Were y'all trying to get points? Were y'all trying to kind of balance aggressiveness with maybe not aggressiveness?
Yeah, we're trying to get points there. We are trying to get points. We didn't execute how we wanted to execute at the end of the half. If we get the first down, we're in a good spot there. Want to finish vertical there. Thought Higgins did a great job of catching the football, but we got to finish vertical, get the first down there. Then we're in position to go ahead and try to get points.
Coach, outside of that defensive line, you have a lot of players on that. What goes into the rotation as far as having them in and having them out? Because I know when you have players like Daniil and Will, they want to play the whole game. But what goes into is there a script or is there a feel?
Yeah. Coach Rod does a great job with the substitutions. That's up to him with the substitutions and how he's rolling the guys. And we take 9 guys to the game. So the idea behind it is we want those guys as fresh as possible when they're in there. We don't want our guys having to play, full 60 plays. We want them when they're out there. We want them giving everything that they possibly have because we ask a lot of our D-line. We put a lot on them. So to do that, you have to be as fresh as possible. So Coach Rod has done a really great job of rotating and mixing those guys in accordingly.
Feels like Dalton and Woody have kind of been battling, but they've been there throughout, stayed on the field. When we talk about toughness, how much do those two guys kind of create the toughness that you want for this team?
For me, I feel like everybody has to be tough to play here for me. It's a toughness, first off, a mental toughness, right? To understand your assignments, what you have to do, but also a physical toughness to push through the nicks and bumps that you have. I expect everybody to push through those because that's what NFL football is about.
With Jalen's recent injury, and then of course you've got MJ, Jimmy, Do you anticipate having to go outside to find somebody, and how do you handle it when you're kind of suffering at that one particular position?
Yeah, we'll find a way. We'll find a way. Not don't feel like we have to go outside to do that, but we'll find a way.
Sting had that big pass breakup at the end, and now he's allowed just three catches over the past 4 games. Just what can you say about the way that he's playing the game right now?
Yeah, Stingley's done a great job all year. He's done a great job of, just handling his business, doing it the right way, working hard in practice, showing up in games when it's his opportunity to make plays. He finds a way to make those plays.
You talking about aggressiveness and going for it, not going for it. There was some chatter about when to go for it in that Eagles-Bears game. Kind of want to get your take on like when they went for it on 2-point conversion or whatnot, because I think they went a little bit early. What's not necessarily your philosophy, but what's just kind of your viewpoint on if you're down hypothetically by 8, you score not by 8, but if you're down 2 possessions, 15, and you go for it, does it make sense to go for it earlier, or make sense to go for it at the end, right? To kind of know where you're at in that position. If you're down 15, you score in, let's say, 5 minutes for the fourth quarter. Does it make sense to go for it then, or wait till the last time when you get the ball back to try to see if you can get for it?
Yeah, with the 2-point conversions, I think every coach, there's 32 head coaches in the league, and everybody has their philosophy of how they want to handle it. That's why they're the head coach. Everybody else has an opinion about how it should be handled. Everybody feels like, hey, it's right if it works. If it doesn't work, then hey, you're an idiot for not doing it. So it's that's the nature of our job as head coaches, and I wear that burden, and it's okay. It's all right. I got your question though. I got you.